Matt.
The Startup America Initiative program is aimed to bring back the American dream for immigrants, and President Obama is sending its legislative plans to Congress.
Joining us now with more on the story is attorney Remzi Kulen from the Kulen Law Firm. He is going to explain this in simple terms for us. It's kind of a complicated story, it seems, but the bottom line is, how do we get more foreign investment in this country? And President Obama has come up with a plan. Tell us about it.
There are already programs to attract foreign investment from outside the U.S. We have the EB-5 program, where investors invest money and they get their green cards, which allow them to stay here, work here legally. There is the E2 visa, which is an investment visa, which doesn't give the green card, but allow the foreign investors to stay here, go to school, and it can be extended in every 5 years. What this bill is trying to do is, it's trying to attract foreign investors and highly skilled immigrants to get the U.S. out of the economic situation it is in right now. As you know, we had a financial crisis, the unemployment rates are high, but there is a lot of money outside of the U.S. and in some parts of the world, the economy is still very good. People are making really good money. So the whole idea is going back to that old days where America welcomed immigrants by trying to attract foreign investors and highly skilled immigrants. And this bill is a startup for that. It was actually introduced a year ago. There are some developments, but this is really the first time President Obama went out and called up the legislation to send him a bipartisan bill which would cut taxes for small businesses, which would give access to finances, to more money, to investment for small startup companies. It's not only aimed towards the immigrants, it has a more expanded version where it would help U.S. businesses or U.S. Citizens to invest more money too, but it's primarily it's primarily focused on trying to bring foreign investment.
And it seems there's two ways that they're doing it from what I read. They want the immigrants to open businesses employing at least 10, or have an immigrant have a company that will do joint business with the states. Is that the way, the two top areas?
The program you're talking about, where you have to employ at least 10 full-time employees, that's the EB-5 program, which is the big investment maker when it started in the 1980s. It had downfalls, it had, they're working on it still.
But that's part of this, no?
No, that's actually a program that is already going on. What they're trying to do is trying to make it simpler. Because not everybody has the $1 million. Not everybody has the $500,000.
Right.
What they're trying to do is they're trying to reduce that investment money to $250,000.
Okay, so to make it easier for
exactly.
to do. And then the other component, was it the fact that they want to see the trade between us and other countries?
There is already some mechanism for that. It's called E1 visa. E2 is the investment, E1 is the treaty trader.
Now, do they want to simplify that as well?
I think what's going to happen is, once they move ahead with this, since it's administration clear idea to expand and to develop the trade and investment with the U.S., I think the way that the consulates and the U.S. immigration offices will look at these petitions is going to be more favorable.
You touched on a good point before. This is the upside of immigration. There's a big immigration debate in this country, and it largely centers on illegal immigration and people who are seen as coming to this country and taking and not necessarily contributing. Here, President Obama has put forth a plan where productive, moneyed, educated, skilled people can come to this country, continue our tradition of a nation of immigrants, and help build a better America.
Well, there are some interesting statistics. We're always talking about big companies like Apple, Microsoft.
Right.
Did you know that the companies that create the most jobs are small companies? That's very interesting. And also, only 1%, although from the whole business side, only 1% is the startup companies. They create 10% of the jobs in the United States.
Oh, that's an amazing statistic.
These are interesting statistics that do not come up very often. Instead, what you hear is, well, illegal immigrants coming to our country and stealing our jobs. Well, maybe that's not the case. If you attract foreign investors and if you attract highly skilled immigrants, maybe they can continue starting up new companies, and maybe that would help America to reduces
Prosper.
unemployment rates.
Exactly.
Yes.
What corners of the globe does this involve? What people are out there right now who've got money, who've got talent, who've got some brains and backing, want to come here but are having a hard time? What countries are we talking about?
I mean, really everywhere. I mean, when you look at the U.S. history, it's a magnet in attracting foreign investment and highly skilled immigrants. Academicians, successful businessmen, etc. With the E2 and E1 visa that I talked about, non-immigrant visas these are, there has to be an agreement between the United States and that country for you to be able to apply for that visa. But for the EB5 category, which is the direct green card application, almost any country can do it except for a few countries that are designated as terrorist countries. So it's basically aimed at all of the countries. Mostly you would see the applicants from China and Brazil or Turkey, for example. Wherever the economy is going very well, and since the cost of doing business in the U.S. is very low right now, they would think about investing here, which is a great opportunity for foreign investors right now.
You know, both of my sets of grandparents are immigrants from two different nations, so it's nice to hear that we're encouraging that again, because it seems like there was a shift away from what we were founded on, which is immigration, and it's nice to know we're more welcoming.
Everybody here has come from somewhere else themselves, or their parents have come from somewhere else themselves, or their grandparents, and so on and so forth. How does America, quickly, just tell me, how does America stack up with other countries when it comes to attracting these types of people with our laws and procedures and so forth?
Historically speaking, America was one of the best all the time. But after September 11...
it got tougher.
It got tougher. I mean...
But that was a decade ago, and we're going to turn away from that. Okay. And we've got to turn right now to somebody else. But Remzi Kulen, we appreciate your insight. Attorney extraordinaire, breaking it down for us this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
An unusual career development program is providing hope for the unemployed New Yorkers, to be specific. Ebru today's Sherry Richardson joins us live now.